Why don't we as Africans actually talk about money? You find the topic of money is like a hidden subject. Parents don't talk about money with their children. In fact, they avoid this whole conversation about money. It becomes a hot topic that people don't want to talk about it. In fact, children only learn about money when their parents cannot be able to buy them the things that they desire. When they're struggling to pay school fees, that is when they shyly say that it's because we do not have money. People don't even talk about with their kids what does somebody do to be able to get money? We have a problem as Africans talking about money. Money becomes such an overwhelming topic when you get into adulthood because no one has been talking about it. Not our teachers, not even peers. Peers talk about spending, not our parents, they don't talk about it. Even spouses don't talk about money with each other. Money becomes, we have made money look like a mysterious thing. A lot of us grow up not knowing how to handle money. We end up being fixed and having problems with handling money. Let me give you a different example. There are other cultures where people actually talk about money. Let me talk about, for example, the Indian culture. The Indian cultures, parents start involving their kids in business and decisions about money from an early age. They even give them some money to save when they do certain tasks. They start talking about money and linking hard work, effort to production of money. They link business decisions and investing to money. And this has proving and increasing the money that they already have. They end up learning how to look at money as capital, as opposed to us Africans, where we look at money as a source of shiny things. We look at money as a place where we buy shiny things. And sometimes this is where most of our traumas come from. We don't talk about money. In fact, dating people rarely talk about money. You don't talk about money. You talk about, oh, this sausage from this restaurant is very juicy. Oh, this car brand looks nice. But no one talks about money. And if 30% or more of divorces are as a result of financial issues, either financial incapacity, financial not being able to be in the same terms financially, one is a high spender, another is a saver, there's conflict between that, or where people are already in high debt, which causes a lot of depression and stress and all these things, and they become aggressive and brings relational issues in marriage. Money. Why don't we talk about these things? Why are these things not talked about in school, in our African culture? Why don't we talk about these things? Because our kids need to be financially ready to be able to handle money so that they do not see money and get shocked. I remember receiving my first salary and it almost felt like it was a favor. I was being done, that I had money, I was given money, but I worked for it. But because I had not been taught about money, it almost seemed overwhelming. Have you ever met people who do not even want to look at their bank account? They do not even want to see how much money is there. In fact, if their bank was to be withdrawing some money with them for a long time, they would not even know it. People do not even share how much money they are making when they are talking with their own friends. They do not even share how much money they are making with anyone. It becomes a top secret. I remember a story of somebody who had died, and that is why we have this organization in Kenya, which is for financial unclaimed financial assets commission. Why is it there? It's because people hold financial asset, land assets, bank accounts, and they do not disclose this to their close people, their family, their spouses, their children. So your children could be suffering in your death simply because you never talked about money, how much you have, where you have it with your spouse. We have made it into this thing that has even grown spiritual wings. That if you have a lot of money, then probably you are a witch, or you are this and this, practicing this kind of spirituality and all these things. We have linked money and brought many other issues instead of really talking about money. And the problem with this is Like I talked about, we always see money as a source of shiny things because we see rich people and we see the shiny things they have. But we do not have the concept of money where we say look at money as capital, where we look at finding ways to increase our own money, and where we do not see money as a way of gaining wealth, of gaining additional incomes and passive incomes. We look at money as money that is sent to us every month, and that's it. A source of buying shiny things and new things. We don't talk about money. I sometimes have classes where I try to speak to people about money. Sometimes you can even book me for a session and we can be able to talk about money. And I find that the first session is always the most difficult because I always ask somebody, so what do you work with on a monthly basis? What is your income? How much money do you make? How much money have you invested? How much debt do you have? What are your financial poisons? What are the things that you spend money on that even you yourself know you should not be spending money on? It becomes a difficult session because people don't share about it. People may be able to share about many other things. In fact, even some personal things about their relationship with their spouses, but they not be able to share about money. And it becomes a difficult session if I am the person who is supposed to advise you financially and you do not want to share your financial details. When you share your financial details, it's like a patient who strips down for a surgeon to be able to do an operation on a certain part of the body. You can imagine if you're afraid of nakedness, then you may not be able to get medical attention from this surgeon and an actual surgery. It's the same thing with these financial things. I may not be able to help you, or another financial advisor may not be able to help you if you do not bear it out. You do not talk about it and put everything on the table. Because if I do not have a full picture of the finances that you are working with, then I don't know where you're heading. I understand a lot of people feel like they will be judged, but that is the whole idea of seeking help. When you seek help, you say everything and you are in a position to either receive praise or condemnation for certain things, or even encouragement on certain things. But you may not be able to get real feedback. I think that is another problem with us Africans. You do not want to receive real feedback. In fact, when somebody tells you something that you do not like, you see it as negative feedback instead of seeing it as an area where you need to improve. But you will never get people to talk about areas of improvement if you do not bear it all out. Share everything about your finances so that I can be able to tell you, here you're going wrong, here you're trying to do something right. So do this. This is your course of action. This is what you need to work on a day-to-day basis, because a financial advisor needs to know everything that you are working with so that you can be able to work with what you already have. There is no need of creating financial goals if you do not know whether you have the financial capacity to meet those goals. It will be frustrating. I will be expecting a lot more from you, and you cannot be able to deliver that which you have not been able to provide. If you want to have goals worth millions and you are making thousands, it is going to be frustrating for you. So when we sit down, we need to have a real session. We need to look at your finances and look at your things in a way that can actually allow me to get into your head and into your space and into your finances to tell you where and what we need to do. But as Africans, we are shy about talking about money. Talk about money. We need to ensure that we do not get emotionally attached to money. When you don't talk about it, it becomes something that we all struggle with, that is all finishing all of us, but no one is able to help the other person. So we need to talk about money, because money, the love of money is where the problem becomes, because you have attached certain emotions to this money. But when you see it as a tool, you will see it as a way that you can be able to improve your life. And if every workman sees it as a tool, then tradesmen will always talk about their trades. Oh, this saw does this. If you cut like this, it goes like, because there is no emotional attachment towards this equipment. Money becomes an equipment that can be able to help you. And if somebody can be able to tell you this equipment, you can be able to use it like this to get better results, then you are becoming better financially as a person. So Start by understanding that fine, you will bear it all out. Fine, you get some criticism. Fine, it is not all negative. Sometimes it is to point you to the right direction. And fine, when you talk about it and when you share these financial things, even with family, you become closer. You are able to get realistic dreams and visions, and you are able to see money not as a mysterious thing, but as something you can be able to learn and improve on. Remember, you can improve on every other skill. You go to school to improve on certain skills. You go to school to get certain technical knowledge. Why don't you go to school to learn about finances? We don't want to talk about finances. We don't want to learn about finances. We don't want to share about finances. You go to a group of old men who have lived a long life and actually are talking about their struggles in retirement. And even still them, they do not want to share about where they are financially. Some of them could actually be going hungry, but they would rather be talking about money they made 100 years ago or 20 years ago, rather than where are they and how are they doing financially. We are ashamed of our finances. We should not be ashamed of our finances, but we should always constantly be looking forward to doing and achieving about our finances a level of transparency, a level of accountability. Because remember, you cannot even be accountable for something you have not shared to others. If you're struggling with a financial thing or financial overspending or things like that, if you have not shared with anyone, then you cannot be accountable to anyone. And we have always seen with every kind of addiction that if you do not have somebody to keep you accountable, then you try to keep yourself accountable. It most often than not doesn't work, because you will always find an excuse to get to fund or get to do this guilty pleasure. You will always find an excuse. But when somebody is asking you why, you become more aware of your own problems and you are able to adjust because you are accountable to someone else. Find a way to talk about money. Do not die in your financial problems. Do not die in your money problems, because remember, nothing is new under the sun. People have been struggling about money for a long time. People have been making bad financial decisions. People have been making good financial decisions. People have been growing their net worth. People have been making money. Don't let your children suffer in the future because you do not want to be transparent to them and to their mother, as all your assets are held down by the Unclaimed Financial Assets Organization. This is a deep underlying issue for us as a culture, that we don't talk about money. But if we talk more about money and not about politics, then it could be able to improve the lives of ourselves, our spouses, our children, our brothers, and other people. Let's talk about money. Let us be brutally honest. Let us be confident, even if somebody disagrees with the way we spend our money. And let us understand that sometimes you need to seek professional help, because if you have a financial disease, you need a financial surgeon to be able to help you remove any tumor as regards to your finances and to help you grow in your financial affairs. I hope you're learning, you're growing, and you become a bit better. Remember to subscribe to the channel, to like this video, and to keep on waiting for the next video. Thank you and enjoy your day.